Welcome to the Funeral Funds Life Insurance Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Vandervate from Funeral Funds of America, and you can find us at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, Funds.com. Whether you're interested in term life, whole life, mortgage protection, annuities, disability, business continuation, or final expense life insurance, we have you covered. Our team of experienced professionals will guide you through the complexities of insurance products to help you make an informed decision. In this podcast, I'm going to be discussing how to choose the best company for your burial insurance. Now, burial insurance is a type of insurance that's just designed to cover your final expenses. That could be burial, that could be cremation, that could be kind of all the costs associated with that happening, death certificates, even paying off some other debts and stuff like that. So, there's a number of different companies out there that you can seek out and get information and actually get burial life insurance, but are they the right insurance company for you? So, the first thing you want to consider is the financial stability of a company. So, there's plenty of ways to check out there: AM Best, Moody's, Standards and Poor's, a whole bunch of different ways to check out these insurance companies. Now, if you're just searching on your own, it's confusing. It's like most people are only going to buy anywhere, maybe one, two, or three, sometimes four in life insurance policy, burial insurance, cremation insurance policies in their lifetime. So it's not something that people ever get really good at buying, and they kind of know some of the basic concepts and what to look for, but they're kind of just woefully unprepared to really assess whether it's going to be, any particular plan is going to be more advantageous to them or not. And you definitely want a company that's going to be around for a long, long time. And typically that means you go with a company that's been around for a long, long time. So if you don't know how to study all of that, then in many cases, you're better off trusting your insurance agent. But is it always smart to trust your insurance agent? Well, I would say, there's good politicians and there's bad politicians. There's good cops and there's bad cops. There's good life insurance people and there's bad life insurance people, right? 50% of the doctors, graduated at the top of their class. 50% of the doctors graduated at the bottom of their class. So, it would be nice if you could just say trust your life insurance agent, but life insurance, the industry as a whole has really high turnover. We've been doing this years and years and years and years, and we've just grown to love it, and we love helping people and providing people, making sure that when the worst does kind of come and knock on their door, that they're prepared financially. But there's a lot of people who just can't cut it, and they get into the business for a year or two and then they get out. And now you're what the insurance companies called an orphan policy, meaning the person you bought that from is no longer there. So I'm proud to say from day one we've been in business, and we take care of all our clients and make sure that everybody's taken together. So you not only want financial stability, with an insurance company, but you want the stability that that company that you're working with that's helping you buy that policy is going to be around to help you in the future, and that you've got somebody in your phone that's, insurance guy. So I'd love to be the one in your phone that says Randy, the insurance guy, and we'll make sure that, we get you the right policy, but also get you a plan that's, a company that's going to have that financial stability you're looking for. A second thing to look for in burial insurance is riders. Riders, and remember, these burial insurance policies are typically made for and designed for people over 50 years old, right? 50 to 85 years old. Now, you could make the argument, and I would agree with you, that if you've got a $500,000 term life insurance policy, that's all a burial policy too. I mean, our company's called Funeral Funds. Funeral funds. You know, you're going to attend a funeral at some point, or you're going to be the reason for the funeral at some point. And I tell you what, when you're the reason for the funeral and your family members and loved ones are out there, you know, often they're grieving your loss, but they're just wondering, how on earth are we going to get by? There's no money, they had no life insurance, anything like that. So keep in mind that even if you have a 1 million or 2 million or 5 million, it's a burial insurance policy because as you're getting buried, there's other financial obligations that need to be taken care of, and they all revolve around you going in the dirt, or you getting burned and cremated and stuff like that. So all life insurance is burial insurance. It's just kind of the scope of some of the other bills that kind of come in. But uh, burial insurance policies, we often recommend you consider riders too. And this is very insurance company and insurance policy dependent. Even policies within same companies often differ. But the ones with we particularly like one. It's an accelerated living death benefit, and we prefer companies that offer a 100% accelerated living death benefit. And what that means is that if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness and the doctors have said you have less than 12 months to live, you can actually get all the money out in advance. So let's talk strictly about a burial insurance policy. If you had a $25,000 burial insurance policy and the doctor said, hey, you got XYZ, and you're going to die, in 7 months, nothing we can do about it. No, there's nothing we can possibly even do medically to help you. It's been nice working with you, but you should probably come to terms with this and get things planned, right? So, with that doctor's note saying that you're going to live less than 12 months, if you had a $25,000 whole life burial insurance policy, you could get the entire $25,000 out in advance right away with just a note from the doctor. And you might be going, well, why on earth would I want to be doing that? That money needs to be there for after I die to pay for the burial and all that other stuff. Here's the cool thing. With the accelerated living death benefit, you get that money out early. And if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness, no doubt you would be in a funk for a month or two, just coming to terms with it. But then I think most people would say, you know what, I'm going to die. I may as well get everything taken care of so that my family doesn't have to worry about this because I'm just waiting on the day to come when the world goes black, right? So you could get that $25,000 from the insurance company. They'll just write you a check with a doctor's note. And now you could go down to the funeral home and plan your own burial, get everything done, get it all paid for. And that way, when you pass away, your family doesn't have to worry about a thing. Talk about a wonderful last final act of love. Oh my gosh. To be remembered by family as someone who is so selfless to be able to do that. Number one, to get the insurance to be able to do it, but number two, to just go make all those arrangements so that they wouldn't have to do it. Now, let's say you had a $25,000 policy and the funeral cost $12,500. Well, there's $12,500 left on that policy. You can spend that any way you want. If you got $1,000 on the credit card, pay it off. You know, if you wanted to take the family on a nice little vacation or get together that you'd always talked about doing but never had the money, use that 12,500 to do that. If you want to give the money away to grandkids or something like that, do that. You can do whatever you want with that money. It's a really incredible rider, and we favor plans that have a 100% accelerated living death benefit rider. Some companies out there have 25, some percent, some have 50%, some have 75%. We prefer 100%. It's pretty cool. And another rider is a nursing home confinement rider. And if you were confined to a nursing home full time, you can get money out of your policy to help pay expenses because we know nursing homes are ridiculously expensive and most people don't have that money. So if you needed to, you could get money out of your burial insurance policy to help pay and offset that. Now, I will tell you this doesn't work as well with the nursing home confinement if you've only got $10,000 or $12,000. So, because that money is going to be needed for your burial. But if you do have more insurance, just be aware that you can access that money. If you had money for a burial and you decided you needed the money for the nursing home, then you could leave enough money behind to be cremated as well. That's a much less expensive option. One other rider that's available with some companies out there is an accidental death rider. Now, I want to make very clear, if you qualify for first aid coverage and you die of an accident, that's covered with the policy, no different than if you died of a health or medical issue. It's all included in there. But there are a few companies that let you buy additional accidental death. There's a few companies that include it in there. What that means though is if you had a $25,000 policy and you bought some additional accidental death life insurance, then if you died of an accident, it would pay out at 50,000. It would double the face amount. It would double your policy value. So, kind of a neat deal, but just understand most people aren't going to die of an accident. They're going to die from a health or medical reason or some other horrible way. Life doesn't seem fair sometimes. Nobody wants to die, right? Everybody wants to get to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. So, another way to choose the best company for your burial in life insurance is just double check the underwriting requirements. Now, different companies out there have different underwriting requirements, meaning they may be more lenient or strict in terms of kind of what's going on medically with you. And it's smart of you to look for companies that offer policies that fit your health profile. You want to know the challenge with that? You're probably not a life insurance geek like I am. Like Randy Vandervate's a life insurance geek, right? You know, my work is not much fun to talk about at parties, to be perfectly honest. But my work is pretty popular when you're at a funeral, and people know that at some point in somebody's life, you help that family, and that family is going to survive and they're going to flourish as well as they can flourish without the loved one there because they've got the money and you've taken that financial burden off. I'm really popular at funerals, not so much at parties, but so here's my point of that. Uh, you know, all the insurance companies have different underwriting requirements. They all ask different health questions, and you're not an insurance geek like Randy is. So you could buy the wrong policy, and the wrong policy means it wouldn't cover you immediately, means it wouldn't, possibly be all the coverage you want. Means you could have a 2-year waiting period. It could mean you're overpaying on something that you should have never overpaid, and you're gonna have to overpay on that for the rest of your life because you just didn't make the right choice on what policy to get. So that's why at Funeral Funds of America, we are life insurance brokers. We work with many different insurance companies. We are not married to any of them. We just date them all. And what that means is we can go and search around for the best insurance company with the best insurance policy with the lowest pricing. And that way you can afford it. And when you pass away, it's going to be there for your family. But ultimately, at the end of the day, our goal is to get you first day coverage or benefits and not have to have you suffer through a policy that's got a 2-year waiting period. Yuck. Stay away from those. You know those 995 plans you see on TV? 2-year waiting periods. Yuck. Stay away. Um, Another aspect in choosing the best company for burial life insurance is the customer service. There's nothing more frustrating to get on the phone with an insurance company and have a 45-minute hold and then, talk with somebody on the other end and then get disconnected. No, you got to do another 45 minutes. Oh man, that's enough to make a lot of people mad, right? So you want to make sure that the company has good customer service. That's why we favor companies that you can actually get on the phone and be talking with somebody in under 30 seconds. Because you know what? We don't have enough time left in this world if we're buying life insurance. So why waste it waiting for an insurance company to get on the phone? So that's a hard one for the average consumer to understand who's going to treat you best in that way. That's why we're a broker. We go through all the different insurance companies, and we actually monitor the experience. So many times when people need help, we'll actually get on the phone with the insurance company and help them out with it. And that helps us audit the insurance companies too. And it just helps us know how they're doing, helps us suggest to them how they can do better. And then if they don't do better over time, then we just kind of gravitate away from them and gravitate towards people and companies that do a better job with customer service. And my fifth and final point today in how to choose the best burial insurance company is price. Yeah. So not every plan that's the lowest price is the best policy. Sometimes it is, but you know what? when people get on our website, we've got a free quoter, and they can go online and they can access the same quoter that we use to help our clients. And sometimes people see, the lowest price plan, and they go, "Oh, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want." But here's the thing, they might not qualify for it medically. So the lowest price plans go to the healthiest people. And I want to kind of calm your nerves a little bit here. Most people, when they're thinking about getting burial life insurance or any life insurance, they think, "Oh, I've got all these issues going on. I've got diabetes. I've got high blood pressure. I've got cholesterol. Oh, I'm so unhealthy. The only thing I'll qualify for is a 2-year waiting period plan." To which we go, wrong. We help people all the time with that. But the thing is we know the underwriting, and that's why we work with specific insurance companies, because what we do is we go through all the request for coverage and application questions, and we know what every single question is. And some of the insurance companies have little unique niches, little kind of holes where, they cover things that other companies wouldn't cover. So if you saw a lower price by like $3 or $4 for a burial insurance policy, you may not qualify for it, but based off your health. So that's our job, is just to help you understand the underwriting and make recommendations based on the company that's going to, number one, approve you. It does you no good to get prices and compare prices from companies that won't approve you. Absolute waste of time. So we want to get companies that will approve you. And then secondarily, we want to get first day coverage or benefits. And then third, then we go for price. And it typically is always going to work in your favor, because companies that have the first two are typically, if they have those in line and everything's in order, they're going to have the lowest pricing. So I hope that's giving you some pointers on how to choose the best company for your burial life insurance. My name is Randy Vandervate, and I hope this podcast has been helpful to you. Funeral Funds of America can help you qualify for first day coverage or benefits at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, FUNDS.com. And our phone number is 888-862-9456. We will be blessed to help you with this in the future. Until that day comes, stay safe, take care, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.